بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is going to be the second lecture of the second part of the second lecture. المحاضرة الثانية الجزء الثاني. We are going to start with consonants plus th sound on page 75. Page 75. Consonants plus th sound. So in this case, these consonants, or at the place of these consonants, what is assigned? شنو نوع الكونسونانت اللي راح تظهر هنا؟ مثل ما نعطينا اياهن بالكتاب. The sounds t, d, n, and l. These four sounds are predicted to appear before the th sound, and to happen something that happens. Something is going to happen. هذا الظهور ما راح يكون طبيعي، ما راح يكون normal. راح يصير تغيير بطريقة اللفظ. Let's just take examples, like for example the word eight and then th. When we have the word eight and then th, how do you pronounce this word? It would be eighth, eighth, eighth. This word breadth, breadth. So we have here, we have two consonants in sequence, the d sound and then the th sound. D and then th, the final position. The next example, tenth, tenth, n, and then the th sound. And finally, health, 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 this l sound and then the th sound. So if you want to notice the difference, you can pronounce the words without the th and then compare it with pronouncing it with th. You can say health, health, or هاي ما ممكن، بس ذن الأمثلة الباقية. Ten, ten, tenth, ten, tenth. You can notice that the place of articulation for this sound, or for these sounds that are to appear before this th sound, their place of articulation would change. مكان اللفظ مالته راح يتغير. We know that normally the t, d, n, and l sounds are produced. They share the place of articulation, which is the tip of the tongue touching the alveolar ridge. نريد نلفظ ذن الأصوات يشتركون بمكان اللفظ ت د ن ولو size of the tongue could be different. For example, the t, d, and n, the tip of the tongue along with the sides of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. The roof of the mouth is taken, while for l sound only we have the tip of the tongue touching the alveolar ridge while the sides are lowered. ما يهم، هاي يعني بس مجرد استذكار لكم. بس المهم انه tip of the tongue is against the alveolar ridge. نجي على th sounds. How do we produce the th sound? What is the place of articulation? We have the tongue or tongue tip very close to the upper teeth. Tongue tip very close to the upper teeth to produce the th sound. صحيح؟ tongue tip or tongue blade. المهم يعني اللسان قريب من الأسنان العليا. So if we have this combination, the combination of these consonants and then followed by this consonant, what happens? What happens is that the place of articulation for these sounds changes a little, and it moves, the tip of the tongue where it was against the alveolar ridge, it moves to become close to the upper teeth. يعني بدل ما كان رأس اللسان يضخ الالفيولار ريدج، صار شلون صار يلفظ؟ صار يضخ الأسنان أو يكون قريب من الأسنان، يعني كأنه يقترب حتى يصير يشبه ال place of articulation مال th sound. And then we have the dental friction for the th sound. Okay. Other examples. Here we have another example. Fifth. or this is not an example for the case, but it is saying that when we don't have the position for these sounds, so that the fit sound is not one of these sounds. شلون نرفض الكلمة fifth fifth or هنا length. يقول هاي المعلومة أنا أعطيتكم إياها بالكورس الأول. يقول إنه هي معلومة عامة. when you produce من تجون تلفظون كلمة كاملة وبعدين بعد هاي الكلمة تجون هاي الكلمة تحطوها بجانب كلمات أخرى، بس اللي دا يصير هنا شنو؟ الأصوات اللي دا تلفظ ما تلفظ كل صوت على حدة. Sounds are not pronounced in isolation. When we produce the first sound, our articulators are already making the position for the next sound. And then when we come to these sounds, or the first sounds, when we're producing the first sounds, our articulators are ready for the second, third, and even the fourth sounds. So at the same time, or in a very short time, we are producing a number of sounds at the same time period. هاي الملاحظة اللي اديتكم اياها. During the previous consonants, there is no gap between them. حتى ما يصير اكو فاصلة بين الأصوات، حتى الأصوات يلفظن بشكل سلس. And you are given another a number of examples. هنا width, 100th, 9th, 13th. This consonant is followed by this th sound. ونفس procedure يتطبق هنا. And here it is asking you to practice in order to understand what's going on better. And here it is telling you that this consonant sequence, تشوفون عندنا 8th, this consonant sequence can be lengthened by the addition of S plural. يعني هنا صار عندنا 3 consonants in sequence at the final position. They're eighths صح صعب، بس يعني هاي الأصوات كلها تلفظ، ماكو فد صوت راح we do not drop one of the sounds for the purpose of fluency. So we would produce it or we would pronounce it as eighths, breadths. يعني صوت الث يكون مغطى عليه بصوت الس، لكن هو علينا أنه نلفظه. And you are given other examples here. You can read the paragraph and take out examples. مثل هنا نعطينا مثال 12ths or 12th, and also you can add other sounds to lengthen the sequence of consonants, like here. 12ths, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 consonant sequences. L, F, Th, and S. 4 consonant sequences at the final position. Moving to the next topic, L sound plus consonant. We have the L sound, which is lateral, plus a consonant. Let us see what examples are provided here. So what we have is that this L sound might be followed by a number of consonants. So previously we dealt with this consonant sequence, this kind of consonant sequence. أخذناها. The L sound followed by Z, or followed by Th, or followed by D. الملاحظة هنا إنه if L sound appears before a consonant, then it is produced as dark L. It is produced in a dark manner. Now look at the examples. What do you have? Look at the word at the final position. We have this L sound and then followed by another consonant. This is a consonant and then followed by another consonant. So here we have 2 consonants in sequence. So how do we produce this sound? Help. We don't say help. It would be abnormal. Or we have else, L, and then S. Film. film, L and then M. Fault, fault. As you can see, all of the consonants or all of the L consonants are produced in as dark. So they are dark, L. Welsh, Welsh. Milk, milk. Shelf, shelf. Shelf, shelf. Bulge, bulge. So you can see the number of consonants that can follow this L sound. What is important here, what is crucial here to point out is that the L sound, when it is followed by a consonant, it is produced as dark L. By the addition of the S plural and the addition of ED past form, you can lengthen the sequences. مثل ما كل ساعة تتكرر هاي المعلومة. إذا تريدون تطولون السيكونس تقدرون تضيفون S plural أو تقدرون تضيفون ED past form. Okay. مثل help, we have two consonant sequences. By the addition of S, you can have 3 consonant sequences. هاي كلمة help أيضا هنا عندنا helped, helped. أعطيتكم تذكرون هاي الملاحظة إنه when the word is ended with the voiceless consonant, then the ED past form will be heard as T and not D. So helped and not helped, because the word ends with voiceless consonant, then the the ED past form is also heard as voiceless, which is T. Milked, milked. Filmed, filmed. Helped, helped. Shelves, shelves. Belts, belts. Bulged, bulged. Milks, milks. And finally, films, films. نيجي على آخر موضوع أو موضوع قبل الأخير اللي هو nasal plus consonants. You know what is meant by nasal? What are the nasal sounds? We have 3 nasal sounds. We have 3 nasal sounds اللي هما n, m and ng. نجي نشوف شلون متعاملين وياها. What consonants can follow the nasal sounds and what happens? So previously we dealt with n sound or nasal sounds, sorry, nasal sounds n, m, followed by either z, d, or th. We dealt with these cases. There are other cases where we have, let us jump to the examples. We have a consonant, or the n مثلا sound, nasal consonant, a nasal consonant n or m, followed by these sounds. If you take out the examples, let's look at the examples. Punch, punch. So here we have n sound followed by ch sound. Here we have 2 consonant sequences. بعد مو تعتبروهن 3. This is the symbol for the ch sound, and it is counted as 1 consonant. Revenge, revenge. Also here we have this n sound followed by j. Again here we have 2 consonant sequences and not 3. Want, wants. N sound followed by t. Jump, jump. Here we have m followed by p. Thank, thank. The n sound followed by k. And so on. In all these cases, it is saying that in all these cases, the organs of speech or the vocal organs are exactly or almost exactly at the same position for the nasals. يعني the first sounds, for example, we have this n sound and then the ch. N, ch, n, ch. If you practice, you would see that your tongue doesn't have that great movement, that great transition from one sound into another. They are almost close, at the same area, almost at the same area. Or as for the then j, nj, nj, the tongue moves around at the same area, or almost تقريبا عن نفس المكان. So in and t at the same position. Nt, nt. Jump, mp, m and p, both are bilabial, both are produced by lips. Thang, thang, the ng sound and the k sounds, both are velar at the same position, almost the same position. So in this case, the production of these words is not that difficult, is not that difficult task, because they are produced by almost using the same place of articulation. So no need to move the position for the tongue, moving from the first sound to the second sound مثل ما صارت في الحالات السابقة. ما يحتاج، ما حاجة إنه نغير مكان اللفظ للصوت الأول حتى نسويه يشبه الصوت الثاني، لأنه تقريبا اثنيناتهم نفس مكان النطق. And you are given here also here it is only a point for you, a note for you. It says that as for this example, triumph, maybe because the manner or the place of articulation for m is bilabial and fe is labiodental. So the manner is a little bit different between these two sounds. So you might change the place of articulation for m to approach the f sound, to make it similar to the f sound. So when you produce this m sound and then when it is followed by f, only in this case, only in this context, this m sound wouldn't be produced as a bilabial، ما راح ينتج كأنه bilabial، راح يصير يشبه صوت الف، يعني كأنهم تقولون m كأنه مشبعة أو محطوط وياها شوية صوت ف، فيصير labiodental، بس مو نفس اللابيودنتال اللي نستخدمه للف، يصير شيء مشابه للف sound. But it says that you don't have to do this unless you find it helpful. You don't necessarily have to do this unless you find it helpful. إذا تشوفون triumph أسهل عليكم فتلفظوها triumph، يعني هاي الام مكانها والإف بمكانها. بينما sometimes in connected speech you need to make this transition of place of articulation. So شو يصير triumph يعني قبل لا تلفظ صوت الام ننتقل لصوت الاف، فصوت الام يكون يشبه صوت الاف. This is just a note for you. Next we have this addition of sit sound or ed sounds to have in plural case or the past tense form. Just to lengthen the consonant sequences مثل ما صار ويا الحالات السابقة، مثل sense and then se. By the addition of ed you would lengthen the consonant sequence and it would become sensed. So we have three consonant sequences, three consonants in sequence. نفس الشيء with punched. So we have 1, 2, 3, n, ch, and t. And this is the case for all the examples. الأمثلة اللي نعطيكم إياها قرأناها، بس مجرد ضايف لهن ed وال s plural أو s third person singular. يعني المهم أكو s بالموضوع اللي يلفظ يا إما س أو يلفظ ز. So we move to the last and the final topic regarding this chapter or this unit. Longer consonant sequences. احنا لحد الآن أخذنا only 4 consonant sequences. بالنسبة للinitial position initial consonants قلنا أقصى شيء ممكن يكون 3 consonant sequences, and for the final position or final sequence they could at most be 4 consonant sequences. Sometimes you can have more, more consonant sequences مثل ما تشوفون هنا to 7 يعني until 7 consonants in sequence. هنشوف هاي بيا حالة تصير. This happens when we have a number of phrases and one word ends with a number of consonant sequences and the next word starts with a consonant sequence. So in this case we're going to have a long consonants in sequence. نعطيكم مثال هنا نعطيكم أمثلة مثل the banks closed. The banks closed. If you see the transcription, here we have this consonant sequence اللي نعطينا إياه هنا على حدة ng k s k l 5 consonants in sequence اللي هي صايرة بين ذن الكلمتين. This word ends up with 3 consonant sequences at the final position, and the next word starts with initial consonants in sequence, and here 2 consonants in sequence, and all in all they become 5 consonants in sequence. فهنا الحالة هاي longer consonant sequences تصير between words inside phrases يعني between 2 words. One word ends with consonant sequence in the final position, and the other word, the next word it starts with initial consonants in sequence. Let us see the cases. طبعا by the way شلون يصير هذا consonant sequence؟ هذا يصير بالconnected speech. If we have each word in isolation, we wouldn't have this consonant sequences. So it happens in connected speech. من يصير كلام متصل، كلمة بصف كلمة، كلمة بصف كلمة في عبارة مثلا. فهنا الكلمات يصيرن شبه مدموجات. They are not alienated, but they are merged together. When they are merged together, then we have this consonant sequences. There is no gap, شوفوا, with no gap between them. So we're going to hear that sequence. بس لازم تعرفون أنه there are 2 words and not 1 single word. So 3 consonants ما عندنا مشكلة. 3 consonants احنا شفناها بالinitial sequence وشفناها بالفاينل. 4 consonants هم ماكو مشكلة شفناها بالفاينل. المسألة الجديدة هي بالfive consonant sequences 6 and 7. نجي وحدة ناخذ من كل وحدة كم مثال. مثل best man شوفوا ت الكلمة الأولى تنتهي ت والكلمة اللي بعدها تبدي بإم، فراح يصير عندنا 3 consonant sequences. fix this شوفوا ك س and the 3 consonants in sequence. thank you شوفوا ك and then ي. طبعا احنا الفاولز ما نحسبهن. شلون نعرف انه these are consonant sequences؟ الحد الفاصل راح يكون الفاول ما محسوب ويا consonant sequences. watch cricket شوفوا ch sound, the ch sound, the word ends with ch sound and the next word starts with k and so we have 3 consonants in sequence. nice tune we have the first word ending with s sound and the next word starting with t and y sound. So we have 3 consonant sequences. نجي على 4 consonant sequences. Try to read the other examples. 4 consonant sequences like when we have next Sunday or Sunday. next Sunday هنا حسب اللفظة مالتهم. So the words and the first word ends with k, s and t, 3 consonant sequences, and the next word starts with 1. يعني مو شرط انه الكلمة اللي تجي بعدها أكثر من consonant sequence بيها. يعني مو شرط بيها consonant sequence، مجرد هاي الصوت الأول للكلمة الثانية يضيف صوت صحيح للسيكونس، فصار عندنا 4 consonant sequences. bottled wine شوفوا ت l, d, and w. فعندنا 4 consonant sequences. Vast scale, vast scale, s, t, and sk. 4 consonants in sequence. Strange dream, strange dream. شوفوا n, j, and d, 4 consonants in sequence. Small skewer, small square, sorry, square, small square. So the where the first word ends with only one sound. ما عندنا هنا consonant sequence، بس الصوت الكلمة اللي تيجي بعدها عندنا 3 consonant sequences at the initial position، فيصير 4 consonants in sequence when the two words appear together. اوكي نيجي على الحالة التالية اللي هي 5 consonants. milks free, milks free. شوفوا ال, k, s, 3 consonants, and then the next word starts with 2 consonants, f, oh sorry, f and f, so we will have 5 consonants in sequence. Mixed sweet, mixed sweet, k, s, t, and s, w, 5 consonants in sequence. Bent spring, bent spring, n, t, and the next word start with p, s, p, 5 consonants in sequence. Bent screw, bent screw. Again, the first word ends with n and t, and the next word starts with s, k, so we have 5 consonants in sequence. الأمثلة المدى أقراها مو معناها مو مهمة، حاولوا بها أنتوا اسمعوها بالفايل الصوتي. 6 consonants in sequence as next spring, next spring. مثل هذا المثال نعطينا الكلمة الأولى ends with the final consonant sequence k, s, t, and the next word starts with the initial consonant sequence اللي هي s, p, and So you, all in all, you have 6 consonants in sequence. 3 هنا in the final position وهنا 3 in the initial position. Next example, he thinks straight. He thinks straight. So thinks straight. Thinks straight. 1, 2, 3. You get n, k, s, and the next word starts with s, t, and So you have 6 consonants in sequence. A fenced square, a fenced square, square. So the first word ends with n, s, t, and the next word starts with s, k, and w. So you'll have 6 consonants in sequence. And finally you have 7 consonants in sequence. طبعا احنا ده يعني منطقيا ده نقدر نتنبأها اصلا انه initial position, in the initial position maximally we can have 3 consonants in sequence, and the final position maximum we can have 4 consonants. فإذا كان initial sequence مقبض والفاينل sequence مقبض وذن الكلمتين تجي واحدة بصف الثانية فراح يكون عندنا 7 consonants in sequence. Like for example, the text stupid, the text stupid. شوفوا هنا ايش عندنا ك س ت س يعني عندنا 4 final consonants, 4 final consonant sequence, and the next word starts with 3 consonants in the initial position s, t, and y. So text is stupid, the text is stupid. The second example, she tempts a stranger, she tempts strangers, she tempts strangers. One consonant sequence راح يكون هنا كلمة هاي tempts ending with m, p, t, and s, and the next word is starting with s, t, and If you count them all, we're going to have 7 consonant sequences. انتهت محاضرتنا لهذا اليوم. راح يكون عندكم exercises. كل ما في الأمر أنه لازم تتمرنون تستمعون الفايل الصوتي عدة مرات وتعيدون وتكررون وراهم. الأشياء اللي حسيت بها مهمة أني يعني بالماوس لازم you have to follow with me throughout the lecture، نأشر عليها الأشياء اللي نحس بها تفيدكم، معلومات تفيدكم هم أيضا أشروا عليها. إذا عندكم سؤال استفسار دزولي، وأتمنى استفادتوا من المحاضرة. أشوفكم على المحاضرة القادمة، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.